So today, day one, we're going to meet your teammates, and you're going to really get to work diving into what it is you want to do and what it is you guys want to work on together.
Friday night was really kind of weird, trying to get everything settled, right? With all of us being in the same room and trying to get everybody kind of organized into meeting each other, doing the initial networking in a virtual space. What do you guys think about that? Do you have any thoughts about that?
The sort of unknown is exciting, right? It brought me back to my first New York Marathon, right? You don't know if certain things are going to work. You've tested, you have a good feeling for it, but until you're on, there's some anxiety and excitement around that anxiety, and you have to work through. You always have challenges that you have to work through, and you just hope on the other end that it appears relatively flawless, right? It's never perfect, but relatively flawless. And
day two is really about validation, everybody. We're going to take these ideas that we select, that you pitch tonight, and form teams around. And tomorrow, you're going to find out if these ideas really solve the problem.
Popping in rooms where there's mentors, coaches going on, and that can be positive and negative. Right? It can be a laborious thing. It can be a long-winded conversation. But I think this year, the way it was structured really forced succinct, focused, collaborative mentorship. I mean, it was so evident to see people bouncing off each other, working off each other, because they're coming from the diversity of backgrounds, which was really neat in that panel discussion, but really intensely focused on building on each other to give the best feedback possible. So you're not repeating a lot. You're not coming in with, depending on how many mentors you had at any given time, if it was 3 or 4, 4 different extremely varying messages, and leaving the novice to decide between what's the best pieces, to pick up. So you had some of that. They had to make decisions, but it was still from I think a cohesive, intentional place, if that makes sense.
I want to say the feedback was that much more beneficial as a result, right? It was less about, there wasn't as much time spent, I think, maybe skilling up the mentors on what the team was trying to do. That was sort of done one shot, and then they were able to, come together and, to your point, Brian, feed on each other, right?
And Sunday is all about pitching. And as you guys have just learned with Half Bake, and as you'll learn as you come up and pitch your ideas in just a little bit, pitching takes practice sometimes. And it's not always as fluid as you want it to be. But guess what? The way that you get really good at that is to do it over and over again.
I give you the runway of the rest of the evening, so we know what's coming and we know what to expect and when to go home, which we might already be there. So next up, after Audra and I get done with our intro here, we'll invite David Watkins to the stage, and he'll give us an introduction. When he is finished up, the team presentation will happen. And while the judges deliberate, Tyler Drosty will come up and do our second presentation of the evening. We'll invite the judges back up to give their judges feedback to the team, and we'll wrap it up and head on home. If at any time during the night you want to chat or communicate, you're welcome to do so over on the right-hand side in the chat feature online at #StartupEVV. We want to introduce and recognize our judges, Eric Steele, Donna Crooks, and Pat Heck, we appreciate their time this evening and giving the feedback. It sounds like we have some veteran judges here, and we thank you for being here this evening, and we thank you for bringing your wisdom and experience to the team.
I got positive feedback during the final presentations too about the chat feature. I think people liked to be able to comment during that time, and I don't think that's possible in the real life setting. It's really about them and the judges, and so having that audience interaction, I think, is kind of interesting. I thought that was a nice added component.
Yeah, I think there were more opportunities to be engaged during what normally would be a sort of disengaged function of the event, those pitches, right? I mean, that's between pitch team and judge, at least during the Q&A part. It's pitch team, and then you bring the judges in, but the audience sort of gets, they're just viewing, right? And to your point, that chat enabled engagement.
Thanks to all the mentors, Arthur, Kevin, Mark, Paul, Rick, Edgar, and Sam, from yesterday to this morning. And then there were a couple of times where the team had connected with mentors. So having mentors here and being surrounded with industry experts and bringing that to the team, and the feedback even on the presentation itself, it helps the team see not only that they can get whatever they're trying to do done, that they also have a community around them for after the weekend when they go back to whatever you do tomorrow, Monday morning. Thank you, mentors.